Teachers say they are drowning, and it's happening here and around the world. Now, before we drill down on Portland's issues, let's kind of broaden this out a little bit. In New York, schools are so short-staffed, they've been asking teachers experiencing COVID symptoms to come back to the classroom. In Chicago, classes resumed in person yesterday after teachers walked off the job for close to a week, demanding stricter safety precautions. And teachers in France followed suit today, going on strike until they get better rules to keep COVID infections at bay. Now, in Portland, nothing nearly that severe has happened here, but teachers have been writing into us exhausted by this latest pivot back, in a lot of cases, to remote learning. And a lot of them are also confused about the metrics districts are using to choose between remote and in-person classes. And then there are issues like the one Katrina highlighted. She wrote, "One thing I want to point out is how shortages of support staff, paraeducators, and teacher subs impact teachers. In my district, when they can't fill a sub request, teachers are asked to sub during their prep planning time." This situation, she added, leads to stressed and exhausted teachers who then end up physically sick, which perpetuates the problem. Now, it's not always easy to get teachers to talk on camera. They often worry it could cost them their jobs, and we completely get that concern. But amid this latest surge, that worry is falling away. 3 teachers spoke to our Christine Pitawanich.
I'm Amy Ambrosio, and I teach at Roosevelt High School.
And I'm Laura Fisher. I also teach at Roosevelt High School.
I'm Doug Robertson. I teach 5th grade at Powell Valley Elementary School in Gresham Barlow.
My name is Nicole Safronic, and I'm an ELD teacher at McDaniel High School.
3 of the teachers we spoke to are currently teaching remotely because there were too many COVID-related absences and not enough substitute teachers to keep their schools open. They tell me it wasn't a surprise.
I mean, we had 25 staff out on Tuesday, and we had 16 unfilled subs.
We've had so many student and staff absences since school began. It just seemed like surely we are right there on the cusp of this happening to us. We all kind of saw it coming. I just wish there'd been more planning in advance so that we're not scrambling like we are today.
It's just we don't know what's going to come next.
Nicole Safronic says she never could have imagined a situation like this.
But clearly we're at a crisis level. I'm a little bit speechless that this could possibly happen, that you would have to close schools because there aren't enough adults.
Things have just been so reactive. I keep saying it's like we're lurching from crisis to crisis.
And it's all taking a heavy toll on teachers and students alike.
Not only are we dealing with students with mental health and anxiety, issues and anxiety and depression, our staff are reporting and sharing with colleagues just how much mental health struggles they're having as well.
They say previously in the pandemic, there was more emphasis on social-emotional learning. Students had fewer class periods, which resulted in less pressure. But this year, Laura Fisher says instructional minutes are being prioritized instead.
And this year it was like, yep, everything's fine. We're all back to normal. We're going to go back to 8 classes. We're not going to have any of that social emotional time that's carved out. And so then teachers are put in a position of saying, I know this is what students need, but also I'm not trained as a social worker.
There's been this huge pressure to somehow get kids caught up because the belief is that kids are behind academically.
And there are real concerns about a loss of learning, but they say the strategy right now isn't working for kids. Students are acting out or not showing up at all. Teachers are stretched thin, stepping in to help colleagues cover classes without substitutes.
We came to the administration saying, we're drowning. We came to PPS and we said our kids are drowning.
And now, in this latest COVID surge, teachers are at their breaking point.
We know what amazing student support looks like. And when you can't do it, and it's because you're under-resourced, it stabs you in the heart. I love teaching, and I'm one of those 1,000 teachers that thought about leaving. This is my whole heart and everything that I everything that I love about teaching nourishes my mind and my soul.
In the Gresham Barlow School District, Doug Robertson knows the feeling.
Up until this year, I have always been a person who was like, I will never leave. I love teaching. There's nothing else I would rather do. And this is the first time when I'm like, I get it. I understand. We're seeing people leave at alarming rates.
He's on unpaid leave, not teaching in person on the advice of his doctor.
I would be teaching from home, but we were never given the chance to do an online option. So I had to make a choice between my health and my students. I have a 2-year-old who is immunocompromised. She has a heart defect.
He says it's frustrating that safety protocols don't seem to add up. He says educators are only meeting virtually, even if they're masked and vaccinated.
Why is it safe to pack 35 kids into a classroom right now?
Teachers right now at their wits' end, trying to juggle safety and mental health issues, all while trying to do their jobs with fewer resources and less time to do it.
It's a slow-moving train wreck that we've seen coming all year long.
Okay, Christine Pinewood is joining us now. So Christine, speaking of Portland schools specifically, a lot of them are going back to online learning because of, frankly, very low staffing levels. And now we're seeing pushback from the district.
Yes, in fact, earlier today we received a letter from the head of Portland Public Schools HR. We got a chance to look at it. It was sent to teachers and it said some last-minute teacher absences were, quote, concerning. In part, it said, we are getting regular reports of educators being asked by colleagues to call in sick with the intention of causing the district to close schools. It is unlawful for educators to participate in any sort of coordinated action, to be absent for anything other than a legitimate reason under district policy.
Okay, so definitely not mincing words. Have you gotten a response from the teachers union at this point?
Actually, the Portland Association of Teachers did issue a response earlier this afternoon to that district letter. They say PPS is, quote, out of touch with what's happening in our schools. And as for that accusation that teachers would call in sick in order to cause a closure, well, the Association of Teachers says that is off base, demoralizing to all educators, and an insult to our profession. So yes, Maggie, absolutely not mincing words, and a really, I think, heightened state right now with so many people anxious and really just on edge.
Yeah, definitely those tensions are escalating. All right, Christine Pinewood for us. Christine, thank you.